It's the Wilk Report. I'm Uncle Wilk, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio. Rumors are flying this week. Is Rian Johnson's trilogy canceled or is it not? That is a question we're going to try and answer. Because Three Buck Theater on Wednesday, along with Mecha Random 42, we're reporting on some articles that Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy reportedly no longer happening. You can see on the screen rant. Apparently there was also a now deleted blog post from Super Bro Movies. And you can see the URL here. Saying that Rian Johnson's trilogy was not happening. But then the same day that the Screen Rant article came out, it was edited saying that Johnson confirms his trilogy is still happening. Update says the original article reported on a rumor that Rian Johnson was stepping away from his Star Wars trilogy. The director himself has confirmed this isn't true. But here's the thing though. You've got a contradictory article, seemingly, from express.co.uk saying Star Wars 9 next trilogy confirmed not by Rian Johnson, huge Game of Thrones connection. Star Wars 9 will be followed by a new trilogy, but it sounds like the Rian Johnson films are on a back burner in favor of this huge project from the Game of Thrones creators. Winter is coming to a galaxy far, far away. Game of Thrones is approaching its grand finale this summer. It will be followed by the final movie in the Skywalker saga at Christmas, so it seems fitting that the next major Star Wars trilogy is in the hands of the men who brought George R.R. Martin's books to the screen. The HBO president just revealed the huge news. It was already known in industry circles that David Benioff and D.B. Weiss would be swapping Westeros for outer space. HBO boss Casey Bloys told TV Line magazine why the pair would not be immediately working on their next TV project, a controversial drama exploring an alternate America where slavery was never abolished. He said Dan and David are finishing up the final season of Game of Thrones, and then they are going to go into the Star Wars universe. When they come out of that, I assume they will come back to us. The delay has to do with the fact they were offered 3 movies. There had been no official word on what exactly they would be doing, although most reports indicate a saga set thousands of years before the events of the current 9-movie Skywalker franchise. Last year, Disney boss Bob Iger introduced the future plans. Even then, fans noted he made no mention of the previously much-trumpeted Rian Johnson spin-off trilogy. We are just at the point where we're going to start making decisions about what comes next after Jar Jar's Star Wars Episode 9, but I think we're going to be a little more careful about volume and timing. That doesn't mean we're not going to make films. Jar Jar Abrams is busy making Episode 9. We have creative entities, including Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who are developing sagas of their own, which we haven't been specific about. Kathleen Kennedy has also previously spoken about a further series of movies featuring some of the leads from the current sequel trilogy. She said, "We're sitting down now and we're talking about the next 10 years of Star Wars, and we're looking at narratively where that might go. Future stories beyond Episode 9 with these new characters, Rey, Poe, Finn, BB-8. The possibilities are endless." Again, these films do not line up with the reported Johnson trilogy, which was said to explore a new part of the galaxy with entirely new characters. Yeah, because if you remember, Rian Johnson told a story that pretty much made it exceedingly difficult for Episode 9 to really finish what was supposed to be a trilogy, because he was so impatient to get to his own movies that he decided to end The Last Jedi pretty definitively. So now Jar Jar Abrams has been called back to try and clean up the mess that Johnson left for everyone to clean up. But here's the thing though. Between this article in the Express and this post on superbromovies.com, as of last September anyway, Johnson's next project is a Daniel Craig murder mystery called Knives Out. But there's no news whatsoever with regards to Lucasfilm. We've got no word of any script, no word of when or if production might actually start on a Johnson trilogy after Episode 9 is released. There's really no news. So, that's why I tend to put a little bit more stock in these rumors of Johnson's trilogy having been canceled, and Disney is basically being too chicken shit to tell him that he's been fired for some reason. And, frankly, I don't think that Ruin Johnson would be appropriate after going out of his way to make a divisive movie that angered half the fans, and his antics on Twitter and other social media further antagonizing people. I don't think people would really want to go see a trilogy with him at the helm, or with him involved in any way. He can't write to save his life. I mean, his characters, if you can call them that, are Mary Sue's and Gary Stu's. There's no depth to them at all. There are gaping plot holes in all of his movies that big enough to drive a Mack truck through. They're just awful. So I really don't see fans lining up to see any more Star Wars movies if Ruin Johnson is involved with them in any way. And that there is still no news, no specifics with regard to a Johnson-helmed trilogy, other than that supposedly they're happening, really is telling. So let me know what you think. Do you think Johnson's trilogy is canceled and for whatever reason nobody wants to tell him? Or do you think they're going to throw good money after bad and give Johnson 3 movies to screw up? Because no one went and saw Solo. That movie actually lost money at the theaters. So, I really don't see how having him would benefit Lucasfilm or Disney in any way. Well, anyway, it's getting late. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon to receive notifications whenever we upload new content. And if you want to help improve the podcast, support the channel, head over to our Patreon or Subscribestar page, become a donor, receive the rewards in the side columns. This is Michael Wilk for the Wilk Report, saying take care, good night, I'm out.